Renting or buying? Owning a home has always been the American dream, but in today's turbulent economic times, it's a dilemma many Americans face of which is cheaper. And it differs across the nation depending on where you live. Scripps News national correspondent Dan Grossman has more.
Zach Newman knows all too well what happens when home ownership is out of reach. He's the co-founder of the Community Economic Defense Project. One of their main goals is to help homeowners who currently face eviction.
Almost every eviction we see is a non-payment eviction because people are spending 50, 60, 70% of their post-tax income on housing.
Newman says even when the mortgage payment is met, other factors can make home ownership unaffordable.
They've been making payments and their HOA has charged them fees, and now suddenly they're getting foreclosed on because they can't afford these additional HOA fees.
Real estate giant Redfin recently compared median mortgages versus rental payments in the 50 largest cities in the country. Only 4, Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, and Philadelphia, show the mortgage rates can be less expensive than renting. That same study showed 0% of homes are cheaper to buy than rent in places like San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland, Anaheim, and Seattle. Even cities that were once affordable became unaffordable during the pandemic. Cities like Sacramento, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Austin all saw a huge population increase as remote work moved to more desirable cities. Newman says supply and demand could be the biggest factor, and there are simply not enough homes available.
And now with interest rates having gone up so much, a lot of folks who have those good 2, 3, 4% pandemic mortgages don't want to move.
According to Redfin, a drop in mortgage rates would also shrink premiums and turn the tides in cities where renting makes more sense. However, Newman says until major factors change, renting will continue to be the best option financially.
I think we want to live in a world where most people can afford to buy a home and they can stay in that home and they can pass that home on to future generations or sell it and use the money from the sale of that home in 20 or 30 years to fund their retirement. But that is not the world we're living in right now.
Dan Grossman, Scripps News.
Let's break down the average monthly payments in Great Falls and Helena. In Great Falls, according to Zillow, the average rent price comes out to $1,590 a month. The average mortgage payment is between $1,900 and $2,000, a difference of around $300 to $400. Meanwhile, in the capital city, that average rent will cost you about $1,850 a month. The monthly mortgage payment, again, between $1,900 and $2,000, a difference of only $50 to $150 per month.